Hi everyone, Gigi Santoro with Santoro & Sons Real Estate Group. We are always here to help you with all your real estate needs, and this happens to be a video today on roses. And we'll put up behind me here a picture of our rose garden, and I have quite a few of them. I think I have over 70 roses in my yard, so I have a pretty good knowledge of how to keep them healthy. And even with all the work that I do, I still have issues. And so today I thought I would show you some different problems that occur in your garden and maybe how you can go about fixing some of those problems, at least identifying them. So the first thing I'd like to show you is an actual healthy rose leaf. And I'm showing you this because if you know what one looks like, then you can understand better what to look for when they don't look healthy. But they should be all one color, like this is. And underneath, they should all be one color and, you know, kind of be, the edges should not be brown and just in a general green color tone like this, okay? So this is a healthy rose. Put that one here. This is something that you're probably going to see in your yard from time to time, where you see these weird little semi-circle cutouts. And this particular rose has them on almost every leaf. And these are actually indicators that you have what's called a leaf cutter bee. These bees are fantastic, and you always want these bees in your yard. They are better than a honeybee, believe it or not. They're nicer. They don't generally sting you. What they do is they cut these little spaces here, and then they take this leaf to their nest, and they lay one egg per leaf. Then they put another one on top of it and another egg, but they actually deposit pollen for their larva to eat when it wakes up from, you know, the cold weather there, springtime insect. And so don't kill them, don't worry about it, just say thank you. They also are a better pollinator because with a honeybee, what they do is they kind of wet their body and then they get the pollen on them. These bees are, they use they're dry actually. So when they walk, the pollen just falls off. So many farms actually get a leafcutter bee to pollinate their crops because they're better. Okay, so don't worry about them. This is a bad thing that I have here. This is called a mosaic virus. And although people might think, oh, that's such a pretty leaf, it's really bad. It's a bad, bad virus. And the only way to get rid of it is to cut the branch that the virus is on and feed your plant and hope that your plant has enough antibodies in it to fight it off. Otherwise, you have to pull it out of the ground. It isn't contagious from rose to rose, but once it's in this plant, it never leaves. So I have a couple that have it, and I'm trying to nurse them back to health. I'm not sure if I'll be successful, but that's what this is. So keep an eye that you don't get this, okay? The next thing I want to talk about is something that looks like this. And these are called, this bulbous thing right here is called a rose hip. And what that does is it takes all the energy from the plant, puts it inside these little balls here. This one's not, it's just dead, but there's two on this plant, okay? Puts it inside the plant. In fact, maybe I'll just take this off so you can see a little bit better what I'm talking about. And then what happens is it creates a seed pod, okay? People pick these, they make rose hip tea from them. There's a rose hip soup. I mean, it's not dangerous to humans, but it's unfortunately dangerous to your roses, because if you leave this on long enough, it will pop open, kind of like a popcorn popper, and all the seeds will disperse around the base of the healthy rose plant, and they'll grow as what we call wild roses, and they choke out the host plant. So you always want to cut these off, and you want to make sure when you do that you throw them in the trash. Never throw them back into the garden, because then they'll just dry up and do exactly what you were trying to avoid them to do in the first place, okay? So that's what a rose hip looks like. Now we're going to get to the ugliest thing. I hate this. This is called powdery mildew. Can you see here where it's white on the stem here? And if you want to watch, I can actually rub it off. It's actually a mildew that gets onto the flower stem, and then what it does is it kills off the actual flower itself or makes it grow in a deformed way. So this is 100% fixable by feeding correctly. And I'm going to show you the food that we actually use and what we do with it, okay? So the way to fix this is you got to cut it off. Make sure you take it away from the plant that it was at and put it directly in the trash. Okay. This is a healthy stem of a rose, but it has a dead rose at the top. We call this dead heading, and that's where you take your clipper and you cut this off where the next bloom would be. And I happen to have the bloom starting right here, if you can see that area right here. So this needs the energy. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to cut this at an angle like this. Okay, that wasn't a very good cut. Sorry, I'm upside down. There you go. Cut this at an angle like this, and now this shoot will shoot out and create another stem with more roses on it. So you always want to make sure that you look through your leaves to see if any one of them already have a little bud, and that was the only one that did. So you would want to make sure that you cut right about there on the plant, and then it will grow out again. So how do I feed my plants and what do I feed them? I highly recommend that you feed your plants this food, okay? Why do I recommend this? Because it actually is a systemic product, meaning that when you put it into the ground, it will be absorbed by the root base, and all of the items I talked about here, which are the powdery mildew for sure, is eradicated by this if you feed correctly and timely, okay? And then also, I believe that it will help with the problem that we're having on the mosaic virus here. I think that if the correct food is in the plant with the correct systemic type of I guess I want to call it antibiotics, but it's not. It will help the plant fight off this kind of disease. Okay, I buy this by the case because I have so many roses. I feed my plants at least 5 times a year. And this takes, you know, a couple of things to, let's see if I can open it up for you. It's kind of a pain in the butt here, but let me open it up and see. You're supposed to squeeze here. I usually have a screwdriver that I use, but oh well, anyway. Another show I'll show you what it looks like, but they're little pellets, and you just disperse them out around, and they get absorbed into the ground, and they do a great job of keeping your plants healthy. So I can't wait to see your pictures. Please send me, if you'd like, any of your rose pictures. We'd love to see them. Or call if you have any questions regarding how to care for your roses. We always want to help you with any of your real estate needs, so please give us a call, and we hope you have a great week.